Hey guys, it's Ari Bear. I'm here this morning in my apartment, in my cute, cozy little corner where I have my bouquet that I made from Trader Joe's. We got carnations here, some hypericums, I think they're called, and green dragon plant. I am drinking in my green, cute mug from Goodwill a lavender Earl Grey tea with some almond milk. Because my throat, I went to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and after all the screaming and those fog machines they put, it really fucked up my voice. Um, mm. But today I'm doing my week 9 check-in of recovering a sense of compassion. This week talked a lot about fear of failing, fear of success, and creativity is scary. Creativity makes you dive deeper with yourself and all those like sticky emotions that once you're in it, it's hard to get out of it. It's like once you know, you can't unknow. And it's a very beautiful process, but it is a commitment. It's a spiritual commitment to, it's not just discipline, but it's enthusiasm. You need to be excited and appreciative and have that joy for all the little things in life, in the process, to make it fun. You can't just like be hard on yourself, like I need to wake up at 7 a.m, I need to do this, I need to paint that, I need to write this, because eventually you're just going to exhaust yourself. You're not going to have the same drive, the same motivation that pulled you into that routine in the first place. Eventually something's going to give out, and you need to find a new thing about that routine that you enjoy to keep you going back to doing it. Because this week, honestly, I was starting to like not give up, but I felt lazy. I felt like very tempted to abandon Artist's Way. And it says in the book, you will most likely be tempted. I mean, I have it highlighted here. It may be tempting to abandon ship at this point. Don't. And something about this book I find so crazy is every week what it says as like a warning happens. Like it's so synchronized or aligned. Like I don't know what it is, but it's like the way this course is laid out is just so accurate. And I believe that everyone that's doing this has almost the same flow of emotions about it. I actually haven't even seen other people's videos or notes about their journey with the Artist's Way. I'm gonna look into that actually, because I really wonder if people had the same experience. But talking with people in person, they've had those similar emotions that I've had come up. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, this week, recovering a sense of compassion, it talked a lot about fear. And people that feel lazy, like I did, aren't actually lazy. They're just blocked, because being blocked and being lazy are two completely different things. And sometimes like you don't know what to do, so you just kind of sit around and do something else. And even if that something else feels unproductive, usually your artist child is going to go towards something that it likes. So just trust it. Trust your intuition. I mean, even when I felt like, okay, I'm not really doing much for my career, for my music, something that matters, I was playing with slime. I was like coloring. I was like, doing all this other stuff that I started making those, the fortune tellers, like origami. You like have the 1, 2, 3, the colors, and like 1 through 8, and then you like read it. Yeah, it was so fun. Anyways, so yeah, you honestly have all of the laziness, the blocked, all the fear. It's just fear. You need to cure all of that fear with love. You need to just find the joy, be enthusiastic, because discipline is not going to cut it. Enthusiasm, a word derived from the Greeks, is filled with God, and it's an ongoing supply that will constantly fuel you with the flow of life itself. And that's going to make for a way like lasting bond than discipline. Another thing that I talked about was creative U-turns. Usually you have a creative U-turn right before something amazing happens for your career, for your art, like for your artistic journey, or right after it happens. I tend to feel like backing out, giving up, turning around, quitting, something right before something happens. And it's like there's always these excuses that will come up, like, okay, but I don't have the money for this. Okay, but I don't have the time for this. Okay, what if it doesn't work out? Okay, but what if we don't like each other? Or what if people don't like this? Like, there's just always going to be something stopping you. Always. You know, if people ask you, like, what's stopping you? Actually, everything's stopping you. You have all the reason to give up. But you choose not to. You persevere past that because you know it's calling you. You know there's a purpose for this, and you just have to trust it. You just have to let it go and just trust it and see. I just started a band. I have my second rehearsal with the guys today, and something that was holding me back from starting a band myself was like, I don't have money. When do I have time to do this? Where am I gonna find the people? I don't know how to get gigs. I don't know how to do, like, I don't have the equipment with me. I don't have the stage help, you know, whatever. I literally go to a music school where there's help with students who need the opportunities, like live events, to learn. So it just, at some point, I get tired of hearing myself and my like conscious mind, my subconscious being like, no, like, no. You just have to turn that off sometimes and just keep going. Usually I go to my dad whenever I have those feelings come up, because I want to avoid a creative U-turn as much as possible. And it's always something about that part of your ego that thinks it's just like self-sufficient, but your artist child needs help. It needs more than just you. You can't even help yourself. Sometimes you need to ask for help, even when it feels like, oh my God, but like they don't know anything. No, people are very encouraging. You need human connection more than just physical touch. You need that encouragement. You need people in your life who can support you and uplift you and be there for your good and your bad. Like, it can't just be one way or the other. You need that balance. And yes, you only have you at the end of the day, but it's the people who brought you to you that really matter. So I always go to my dad. He always knows what to say. He always knows how to say it. And he always makes it so inspiring. And I'm just like, wow, I wish you became the guitarist you like dreamed of being, because he really he has so much to give, and it's beautiful. I mean, having conversations with your parents, I'm sure it can get to the point where it's so vulnerable and so deep, and you're just like, wow, you know, I almost forgot that there was this part of you that also just needed that love and to be seen and to be heard. So I like to feel like I'm doing that part for my dad and also for my mom as well. They both had a musical past that they didn't really get to pursue. So I feel like I took from both of them, and here I am. But yeah, creative U-turns, they're very hard to avoid. But once you start asking for the help, once you start seeing the signs, you just start to get uncomfortable and get sick of the victim kind of mindset. And you go and do what you gotta do. Even if your ego is threatened by how well you're functioning as this new and improved version, you just keep going. because honestly, when I started this book, I have traveled so far, like light years from who I was, and it's only been 9 weeks. I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm very grateful for Julia Cameron and this book. And going into all of this, my own week itself, I did journal most days. I think I didn't do my morning pages like 2 days out of this week. And that was just because I had no sleep and I had to wake up and start doing stuff. It was just very hectic weekend. And yeah, I went to dance class. It was very amazing. I felt very confident. Went to Halloween Horror Nights. That was very fun. Oh, I'm wearing this because it's just cute. And I want to make more. I want to make some like blue flowers and do these crowns. I'm going to a festival in November, so I'm gonna make more of these. But I had a very crazy night, very emotional. It was so immense, very painful. And I journaled about it because it was past midnight and my mom wasn't awake and my best friend was sleeping. She had class, so I didn't feel like I had anyone else to really burden with this. And I knew that I could just let it out on paper and, be okay. So I did. And then I experienced this synchronicity with a penny that fell out of my journal earlier that same day. And I forgot about this penny and that I had written on that page 777, lucky me. And I put it back in that journal, and then obviously it's going to shift in my book as I like carry my bag and like move around. But as soon as I was done letting out all these emotions, I put the date, and then the penny was like peeking out of my journal, and I like picked it up, and it was just so crazy. Everything has been leading me to the number 7. And I don't know what it is exactly, but I take it as a very positive sign, and I feel really good every time I see 7. I've been seeing 147 a lot too. And this penny, it was circa 2006, which is the year I was born. So it was very beautiful. I felt really good right after that cry. And I felt like I let something go, something that was latching onto me for years. So it feels really nice. And yeah, I know I'm stressed out this week with work and, just adult stuff like money and all that. But I know I'm going to be okay. And I know I have help. I have the support. So I'm very grateful. And for anyone watching this, please, 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 just ask anyway. Don't listen to the excuses. Just ask. Just get what you need through the people you need and have fun. You got this. Seriously. Okay. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.